Hi, so I just wanted to make a quick video to show a project I've been working on in the background. This isn't something that I am making public, at least not at the moment, but it's something that I've been spending a lot of time on, and I don't have that much time to work with, so it is saying a lot. So I've been going through and splitting my Russian losses into mapping them. First off, you can see these are all the ones we've mapped, and or at least anyway. These are all the ones we mapped. I was just looking at a subcategory. But anyways, these are all the ones we've mapped. You can see that there are multiple icons. First, there are the sunken ship icons that you can see. Those are pretty self-explanatory. Then we have these little blue icons. I know you can't see the image because of the way this is being captured. It's a weird bug. But these blue icons are damaged vehicles. These explosion icons are destroyed vehicles. And then there's these little ghosts. Little ghosts are abandoned vehicles. So here is oh, and just as an aside, these white lines are kind of paths that Russia uses to drive across. They're not really roads, but anyway. So these are some Russian losses around Novomikhailivka. So you see that they've abandoned some vehicles down here. They have some abandoned and destroyed vehicles along this road. A whole bunch of abandoned right on the edge of town, and etc. etc. So these are the Russian losses. There's a separate category for Ukrainian losses, but yeah, these are just something I've been working on recently. For uh, some of these there are kind of these overlapping things here. Like for example, I can just delete this dot here because it's in the wrong folder. You know, this is all a work in progress. You know what? We can on the air just delete that little error. Work in progress, you know? Rome wasn't built in a day, and these like 5,000 vehicles weren't categorized in a day. Actually, they were. And it was a lot of work. Um but yeah, this is what we're going for. Here's another duplicate error. Ink abandoned. And this ink abandoned in the wrong folder, wasn't he? I'll have to delete him too. Oh, these are a whole bunch of errors. Look at that. You know what? Sometimes you just find errors where they're not, where you least expect them, and then you just delete them. See, oh, oh, okay. So these things happen, these things happen. And then this one, oh, yeah, that's true. So I think we're done finding random errors. Maybe I don't know. This is all work in progress. It takes a lot of work to compile these things and to error check them. And it's probably good that you can see me error checking in a video like this because it does take constant error checking to make these sorts of things viable as a useful tool. Um, Anyone who thinks you can just throw something like this together really quickly, they've never actually done it before. I can guarantee you that. So these are some. This is an area where I know I have incomplete losses in this area, and that really frustrates me. I'd love to get more complete around Stepova because I know Russia's lost many more vehicles than I've mapped, but of the things I've mapped, there are quite a large number of them. Now, I don't remember if I said this before, but these losses are only from around July 14th till now. And at the moment, we're looking at every category of loss. Um, but have split these into even subcategories. So, for example, we can look at just infantry fighting vehicles. Well, this is infantry fighting vehicles, armored personnel carriers, and MRAPs, because I decided to make those all one little category. And we'll look at destroyed and abandoned, or yeah, destroyed and abandoned, all disabled ships, oops, all disabled ships, all disabled damaged, and all disabled other. So these are just infantry fighting vehicles, MRAPs, and armored personnel carriers. So this is roughly how many there have been over the past few months. There's going to be even more of these posted on today's map update because there are a bunch more in Sinkivka. I think there's like 6 more now. So this is all what's going on. So maybe you're curious about another area. Maybe you're curious about Krinky. Now look at Krinky over here. How beautiful it is. So I'll turn on um, tanks and yeah, just tanks for now. And I'll show you something, and then I'll turn on something else to make it even more fun. So this is how many. These are tanks, armored personnel carriers, and MRAPs, and infantry fighting vehicles, basically. So this is how many they've lost in Krinky. At last count, I think it was 46 total. I think I even have this. Oh yeah, I still have this. Well, you can't see it, but I can see it. Um, this is my last count, which is a few days ago, and I've had losses since then. So this is, just keep that in mind. This is 1 MRAP, 36 infantry fighting vehicles, and 9 tanks. So that's all one thing, but I'd like you to see something that is amusing to me. Let's turn on the civilian losses, the civilian vehicles. Now, when I say civilian, it's civilian vehicles. It's not and then I'll turn off the tanks and the IFVs, etc., and we'll just look at the civilian vehicle losses, because I think this paints a interesting picture where you get things like this, where they've lost so many vehicles, many of them loafs, but also other types of vehicles like SUVs and pickup trucks, where they've been losing all of these vehicles trying to resupply Krinky. Interesting. And we can kind of zoom out and look at, these are all of the civilian vehicles that have been destroyed in the past few months. Um, yeah, then we can even look at something silly like engineering recovery vehicles, right? I don't even know how many of those there are, but these are them. These are engineering vehicles, recovery vehicles, and bridging vehicles. These are destroyed and abandoned. We could throw in damaged. There's probably more damaged. In fact, I believe there are probably more damaged than there are abandoned and destroyed combined. But this is just an interesting thing. It's all kind of interesting to look at. Now, I have not made any of this public. I may never make it public. I'm not sure. Here are trucks. Yeah, we could look at trucks and civilian vehicles, and that might paint you a picture of their logistics. These are the logistics. Anyways, so I may never make this public, but it is an interesting tool. Um, Maybe it will be used for research at some point. Currently, its primary use is that of um, as a tool for geolocation. We use many of these destroyed vehicles as landmarks for finding, you know, whatever we're trying to find. Um, and that's here. I'll turn on some Ukrainian losses, which are incomplete as well, for all the same reasons that Russian losses are incomplete, and that's kind of that. I hope you found this interesting, and goodbye.